Welcome to the Chingona Living Podcast, the place where healing meets poder. I am your host, Anabel Quintanilla, spiritual life and wellness coach for Chingonas. This is not your typical self-help podcast. This is Chingona Living. We are raw, we are real, somos vulnerables y somos revolucionarias. Let's get started on the conversation about how el estrés is fucking up your mente y tu cuerpo. I just sent out the newsletter this week and I uploaded onto Substack. I also tweaked it a little bit so that it fit with LinkedIn. And I'm talking about how dysregulated our nervous system is. I talk a little bit about cortisol. We're going to touch on that today. I'm going to give you a couple of tools that will help you start to regulate your nervous system, start to regulate the production of cortisol in your body. But let's talk here about where it comes from. Porque si eres como yo y creciste con una abuelita diciéndote, ay, mija, si me siento me tuyo. And in case you haven't caught on, this is a Spanglish bilingual podcast. If this is your jam, bienvenida, amiga. I am so glad that you're here. I might record this, quizás lo grabaré 100% en español. No estoy segura, no he tomado esa decisión. Después pienso en eso. Vamos a regresar. That's how my brain, Demetria, works. You're going to get to see a lot of Demetria around here. So, why has it happened to us? Si creciste con esa abuelita que, ay, mija, si me siento me tuyo. Si escuchaste decir, descanso el día que me muera. Dormiré el día que me muera. Then you've unconsciously associated rest with weakness, with laziness, with a lack of productivity. And rest really is intentional. Solamente con darnos ese descanso sagrado que necesitamos, podemos recargar las pilas y seguir haciendo lo que es nuestra misión en este mundo. Pero no nos damos ese permiso de hacerlo. ¿Por qué? Por esas programaciones antiguas que ya no nos sirven. And so our nervous system is so, and I don't want to say fucked up because I am a professional. Our nervous system is so dysregulated. So let's talk about the nervous system for a little bit, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about ego in all of our conversations because ego plays a very important part in how our nervous system chooses to respond. And maybe I'll talk to you a little bit about the signature framework that I am in the process of developing. I digress. So our nervous system is a highway of communication sources. It's our operating system, and it sends messages from and to different parts of our body telling us that we are either well or that we're not well. And to use very clinical terms, that we are in homeostasis, which means everything is balanced, everything is in parasympathetic mode, all is good, versus crises, flight, freeze, fawn, versus sympathetic response mode, which means alert, something is not right. The thing is that it sends us, our nervous system is only operating in one of two modes. It's either okay or it's not okay. And it's supposed to respond in this alert, crisis, we are in danger mode when we truly are in danger. Cuando nos está persiguiendo un león, cuando tenemos una crisis verdadera, una urgencia verdadera, our nervous system is supposed to go into this, hello, we need attention, right? And it gets very tunnel visioned, and all it's doing is whatever it needs to do to help you survive the crises. Once the crisis is over, our nervous system is supposed to say, okay. It's over. Let's go back to homeostasis. Let's go back to all is well. The problem is that, one, it's probably not a true crisis. You're probably just late to work. It's probably not a true crisis. Your ego just took off and hijacked your mind, and it's giving you all these crazy thoughts because your boss says he wants to see you in his office in 20 minutes. And that's all he said. And now your mind is like, oh, did I do something wrong? Am I going to get fired? And it's like, could it have been that one conversation that I had about, oh, I knew I shouldn't have said anything. And your mind goes crazy. And your ego, because it's out of control, it makes your nervous system panic. And your nervous system has to choose from any of these 4 response modes, which you've heard me talk about 1,001 times, but I'm going to repeat them for you here again. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Depending on the amount of energy that it has. Depending on the amount of energy that you have. The ability that you have to like, darle la madre a la crisis. Huir, flight. No, let me just get the hell out of here. Freeze. I don't really have the energy to do anything. I'm just going to stay stuck and hopefully it just goes away. And fawn, fuck it, whatever they want. Lo que quieran. Ya me cansé. Por la paz, por la patria. Y te rindes, ¿verdad? Y haces lo que te están pidiendo. So those are the 4 response modes. Based on what happened with your ego. It's not a real crisis. It's not a real crisis. Your boss saying, I need to see you in my office in 20 minutes, or I'd like to see you in my office, or Annabelle, please come into my office in 20 minutes. It's not a crisis. But your mind has already signaled your nervous system, alert, 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 there's a problem. It's not a crisis. It's just that your son or daughter didn't get a passing grade on her test. It's not a crisis. It's not the end of the world. What's important is that you ask your son or daughter, what happened? Are you okay? You feeling overwhelmed? Did you sleep well? Were you able to study okay? Is your mind preoccupied with other things? You don't know what the hell's going on in your child's life. You just get a call from the teacher saying, I'd like to discuss your child's grade on this latest test. Y ya tu mente está, oh my God, my son's going to flunk out of school and never going to go to college and he's going to live in a van and he's going to be home. It's not a crisis. It's not a crisis even if your husband says, I need to talk to you about my phone call with my doctor about my latest medical results. It's not a crisis. You're not going to die based on whatever is happening. A lot of us grew up with the échale ganas, mija. No te rindas, mija. No seas cobarde. No te rajes. Dale duro. We grew up with that push, 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 push. A lot of us women are experiencing a toxic overload of masculine energy because we don't know how to be in our softness. It doesn't feel safe to be in our softness. That even if our partners are saying, relax, I got it. We're like, no, you don't got it. I got to do all the carrying. I got to do all the lifting. I don't know that you're not going to fuck it up. Y no sabemos confiar en nuestra pareja. So it's a lot of our programming. It's a lot of our history. It's a lot of what we grew up listening to. It's a lot of what we see dude, bro, marketing guru, coaching experts do today. 5 a.m. club and levántate bien temprano. And we're cyclical beings. And we're like, no, my mornings are sacred. I like to sleep in. I like to wake up and meditate. I like to be in silence and drink my cafecito and do my prayers in the morning, go for a walk, stretch my body. I don't want to have to jump out of bed and like, go, 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 conquer the day. Pero así, esa es la programación que tenemos, amiga. And that kind of programming triggers our ego because anytime that we're doing something different, our ego thinks, oh my God, are we going to survive this? Are we going to survive this? It triggers our nervous system. When we get the email or the text message from our boss, see you in my office in 20 minutes. Are we going to survive this? Are we going to die? The call from the school. When we hit another red light going to work. Ya vamos manejando así. Oh my God, am I going to survive this? And every time that we have that question, am I going to survive this? The ego is literally unsure. It doesn't know. Are we? Are we going to survive this? I don't know. I don't know. This might kill us. And it activates your nervous system. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Y cada vez que se activa tu sistema nervioso, lo que sucede, pay attention, is that you have this release of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. It's the hormone that your body needs to survive the crises. Because in the middle of the crises, your heart still needs to pump blood and filter oxygen to your lungs. You're still breathing. You still have to be able to see. You still have to be able to think. Your liver still has to do what the liver has to do. And that only happens because you have this release of cortisol. You also have the release of adrenaline. So you have your adrenal glands pumping cortisol and pumping adrenaline to give you the energy to survive the crises. Let me rephrase that. It's giving you the energy to survive the red light, the being late to work, the having to have a conversation with your boss in 20 minutes about I don't know what. It's doing that to survive the email that you just got, the phone call that you just got. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but yet that's what our body's doing because our body loves us so much that is trying to keep us alive from the email, from the red light, from the text message from our boss, from the phone call from our school, from the conversation with it loves us so much that it doesn't know if those things are going to kill us or not, so it wants to keep us alive. That is how our body is supposed to naturally function. And then when our body gets the signal, all is well, it's supposed to go back to parasympathetic mode, homeostasis, which I mentioned at the very beginning. And, okay, ahora sí podemos respirar bien, podemos dormir bien, podemos digerir la comida bien. All is well, except that our body never gets that signal that all is well. Because we are in survival mode and we are jumping from one crisis to another. Y de una crisis a la siguiente. Y así, de crisis en crisis, vamos por esta vida. En modo sobrevivencia, supervivencia. Siempre tratando de superar la crisis en la cual estamos viviendo. Which means that our body is constantly pumping cortisol, pumping adrenaline, pumping cortisol, pumping adrenaline. And what happens with the excess of cortisol and adrenaline in our body? First of all, check your midsection. ¿Cómo vas de la barriga? ¿Te sientes un poquito infladita en la barriga? Exceso de cortisol. ¿Qué tal tu energía? ¿Te sientes un poquito cansada? Exceso de cortisol. Your adrenal glands, las glándulas suprarrenales, de tanto que están funcionando, at some point they're like, I'm done. Ya no puedo más. And they just go kaput. Ya no más. Se acabó la fiesta. Party's over. But yet you're still here in survival mode. But now, the very parts that are supposed to be working for you are done. Ya no puedes. Welcome to a series of issues with our central nervous system. Welcome to a series of autoimmune responses from our body. Yeah, este no es el episodio para hablar de esas cosas, de esas condiciones autoinmunológicas. But yet, this is how it starts. It is important that I tell you that this is how it could start. It's not the only way that it could start, but it is one of the major ways when we look at lifestyle-induced autoimmune conditions. We're like, oh my God, have we addressed the stress? Have we looked at how to get this poor individual out of survival mode? Porque esta mujer está sufriendo y ahora su cuerpo está pagando el precio por el estilo de vida y la cantidad de estrés que no ha sabido manejar en su vida. It's upbringing. It's that deep programming from our unconscious mind, or the deep programming of our unconscious mind, lo que crecimos escuchando de nuestros seres queridos. It's that. It's what we see on social media today. And so here's what's going to help you, okay? And let me just take a step back. Porque muchas mujeres no sabemos que estamos en modo supervivencia. No sabemos que estamos funcionando, que estamos saltando de crisis en crisis. We do not know that our nervous system is dysregulated. We just call it life. Well, it just is what it is. I have a high-stress job. I'm a high-level executive. I'm a C-suite executive. I'm a corporate executive. I have a high-stress job. I work at a Title I school. I'm constantly dealing with gun threats in my classroom or other forms of physical violence or verbal abuse. Like, I hear it all the time. And you can believe what you want to believe. I say this with confidence. Stress is a choice. Stressors in life, that's just life. You can't avoid things. I'm just going to use air quotes, right? Bad, cosas malas, bad things happening, entre comillas, right? Cosas malas. You can't avoid that in life. It is part of life. I have a sign right there, and I think I've shared this with you multiple times. God doesn't give us what we can handle. God helps us handle what we are given. Things happen. How we react to those things is within our control, and that is our choice. Now, am I telling you that I never freak the fuck out? No, I'm not telling you that. I have a human mind, and I have a human brain. I have a human body. There are times where I'm like, and then I catch myself. No es crisis. No es crisis. No es crisis. And I breathe. So, things that can help you begin to start regulating things that can help you start regulating your nervous system. Breathing, coming back to this here now moment. Okay. I'm grateful. I am grateful that I'm here, that I am breathing, that I have full use of all my faculties, that I have arms and hands and feet and legs and a brain and eyes. And I'm going to use all these to gain clarity. I'm going to start by creating peace, breathing. Going on a walk where you're observing nature. So presence is really important. Through presence, you find your poder. Breathing while you're walking. Quítate los audífonos. No te preocupes porque la música y que la meditación. Tú camina y observa lo que vas mirando. What a beautiful tree. What a beautiful car. What a cute dog. Look at how green that grass is. Look at how crisp the air feels. Look at how clean the air smells. Listen to the sounds of the birds while you're walking and breathing. You need nothing but the breath and your presence. And if you can activate your body and get it in motion, even better. Pero no necesitas nada. Necesitas un poquito más. Aceites esenciales. There are 2 that I gave in my newsletter. Citrus Bliss. It's literally sunshine in a bottle. Alegría, rayos de sol en una botella. Citrus Bliss is one of my favorite oils. Peace, the reassuring blend. It's another very calming, soothing essential oil. Abres las botellas, las inhalas. Puedes untarte un poquito detrás de los oídos One of my favorite places to use essential oils, and I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this blend that I also like. It's the Forest Bathing Blend, Shinrin Yoku, is to just add a drop to the little crevice right here on the inner part of your elbow that connects just all the veins and arteries that move towards your heart. I'm literally rubbing over my t-shirt here. But right there, that's a beautiful pressure point to use. Another good pressure point is on the inside of your wrist, aquí en las canillas, en las muñecas. Ahí te puedes untar tantito de tu aceite favorito. Hazlo intencionalmente. You noticed how lo froté así calmadamente. Inhalé. Inhalando el aroma de los aceites. That's another really good thing. ¿Quieres un poquito más? Hay suplementos. There are 2 supplements that are part of my Calm Mente Happy Cuerpo blend that you can get on Fullscript. If you're watching the podcast or you're listening to the podcast, then I'm going to link it in the show notes so that you can access that. If you're looking for supplements that you can take orally, GABA, ashwagandha, reishi mushrooms are wonderful to support the nervous system internally. L-theanine, holy basil, tulsi, wonderful, wonderful plants that you can use to support your body from the inside out. There are those things. I also want to invite you to dig a little deeper. If you're like, Annabelle, estoy respirando, pero nada sucede. Estoy untándome todos los aceites que tengo. Ya tomé todas las pastillas y nada funciona. Nothing works. I need to dig a little deeper. Well, then I am inviting you to break free from survival mode and come home to calma, claridad y confianza. There is a free masterclass that I'm hosting on Saturday, October 18th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tools that you can use to deepen further your return to calma, claridad y confianza. It's an invitation to explore the new coaching framework that I have from tensa to tranquila. And that's a paid course, of course. It's a paid course. It's a digital program that you can use to learn this self-coaching model at your own pace. And it's quick and it's easy and it's effective, I promise you. It's the thing that I teach all of my private clients, and it's the thing that I teach within the Amigas Chingonas comunidad. So if you're interested in digging a little deeper in the world of coaching, the masterclass is a great way to start. If you're like, no, I'm ready, Annabelle, I'm ready, then te invito, Amigas Chingonas, the Healing and Wellness Comunidad. We meet on Tuesdays via Zoom, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's a lot that we learn together in this comunidad. And if you really want to do some work privately and you're not yet ready for community healing, because it is an exposure, I understand, and some of us do carry some experiences that we're not ready to share openly, then I invite you to join me in private one-on-one coaching. It's a 4-month container, and I'm in your face. And we meet 2 to 3 times a month, and I'm in your face, and we talk about how you're eating, how you're sleeping, how much water are you drinking, are you pooping regularly, are you taking supplements? Oh, let's talk about that experience that happened when you were 16. Oh, your aunt, your uncle said this, did that. Oh, let's talk about that. Let's let it leave our body once and for all, porque no merecemos vivir en modo crisis, amiga. Merecemos vivir liberadas, llenas de paz y alegría, confianza, poder, amiga. We deserve to live a vida chingona. And if you're living anything less than, there are different things that we can do. Join me on social media, my Instagram and TikTok page. Everything that you see there is free and available for you. DM me and let me know what it inspired in you, what kind of questions you have about what I'm talking about or about the programs that I have available. See you in Amigas Chingonas. See you in the masterclass, Amiga. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you find that it may be valuable to share this with somebody that you love, compártelo entonces. Let others know that you're thinking of them and they deserve healing as well. Te quiero mucho. Muchísimas gracias por compartir este espacio conmigo hoy. Blessings to you, amiga. Continue being the chingona that you're meant to be, and I will see you on the next podcast.